Hi, welcome to this session. So in this session, today's session, we are going to talk about a non-cluster index. So in throughout the series, I have discussed various things and my knowledge and my own experience. I have shared my uh, knowledge in my different domain like an SQL, machine learning, Python, and .NET. These are all the areas that I have an experience. So I would like to share this my experience through this video, so I believe it would help someone to shape their own knowledge. Okay, today we'll get into the session. In previous video I discussed about the cluster index, what are the benefits that we have to consider when creating cluster index and how can improve the performance. Those things that I have discussed in the previous video. In case if you don't watch the video, I will share the link below. Please go first watch that video and then come back to this non-cluster index session. Okay, now let's get started. Okay, so this is the um, technically these are the point that you have to understand when it comes to non-cluster index. So in non-cluster index, if you're creating a non-cluster index, it will create a separate structure for the base table. It won't, I mean that it won't affect anything on the main table. Instead of it will create a base table for that column. That is the first point. And second point is that we have option that we could able to create a multiple non-cluster index in a single table. That is the one, is the second point. And third point is, whenever you are creating a non-cluster index, it always occupy more space in the hard drive. This is what I mentioned here, the extra space is needed when creating a non-cluster index. And then fourth one is, here non-cluster index, the leaf node will point out the cluster table. In the previous video we have discussed the B3 kind of structure, right? Each when you're creating some index, I'll show you that slide. Okay, whenever you're creating any index, it will have three levels. One is root level, intermediate level, and leaf level. So the main difference here is, in non-cluster index, the leaf node consists of pointers of clustered index, but when it comes to clustered index, the leaf node consists of only data pages. This is what I have mentioned here. The leaf node will point out the cluster table. It doesn't have any data in that leaf node. Instead of it's having the pointer location in the cluster table or a heap where the row exists. So this is the main difference between non-cluster index and cluster index. And next slide, we will talk about what are the factors that we need to consider when you're creating a non-cluster index. Okay, okay, this is the point that we need to consider. The first point is, um, we have to consider to create an index only the frequent used queries. Suppose if you are having a web page, in the web page home page, by frequently you are using one select query, so maybe you can go I mean that you can create an index in that select statement. In case if you have some table, we have high update will happen in this table, means maybe you should avoid the over indexing in the table. Maybe you can create a single, or maybe you can go up to two, but don't create over indexing on when we are doing an updating table. That is the second point. And then third point is, um, if you have any some table, if you have only read operation, then you can go for non-cluster index. That is the, it will give the best performance when you are reading data from the table. And then the next point is, if you have some table, if you are doing a multiple insert update delta operation, please avoid creating index in those kind of tables, because it will affect the performance when you're doing when you're doing select query. Okay, why? Because see, every time when you're doing insert in new rows or updating new rows, the non-cluster index, again it will change the order, so it will take some time to rearrange those orders, rearrange those pointers. If you have multiple index in a single table, it will take a large amount of space. At the same time, when at the every insert operation, it will rearrange that index, basically it will affect the performance. So that is the reason, if you have multiple insert update delta operation, please don't go multiple index on the table. Okay, the best way to create non-cluster is, only we can use in where classes. Suppose if you are using multiple such condition in the where class, you can always create non-cluster in only those columns, because it will improve the performance much better. Okay, and next column is create a non-cluster columns to cover the query. In case if you have a multiple um, multiple var classes, multiple columns in the var class, maybe you can include in a single non-cluster index um, in query. I will explain you more detail when I show the demo, but this is the point that you need to consider. Also, the last one is if you have distinct value columns, maybe you can go creating a non-cluster in those columns, because again the performance will improve if the values have distinct. So these are the main factors that we need to consider before creating a non-cluster index in the table. Okay, in the next with that, maybe we can move on to the demo. The demo I will show you what are the different way of creating a non-cluster index in the table, how to improve the performance when doing a select query with the var clause. Maybe we'll discuss. Okay, here I have an table product. Actually, I'm using database advanced to database. Here I have a product table. So in the table I have three columns: name, product number, and color. Okay, now I have some existing index in the table. In order to check the existing index, we have to use this query sp underscore help index and then table name product. So it will give you the detail of the index available in that particular table. Product. Okay. So if you see here, we have only one cluster index in the name. That is index name is column name is name. Okay. Now if I search this product, okay, now we have blade name from product where name equal to, okay, blade. If we are searching blade, I am going to on this execution plan. Okay, if you see here, now it is doing proper indexing. We don't have an index scan, so now this performance, we don't need to tune any uh, things in the cluster index table. Okay, now assume that I am going to search product number, because in product number we don't have any index in this product number column and color column, because we have a cluster index in this name column. So as per logic, we are not able to create uh, one more cluster index in the same table. So for that, we are going to use non-cluster index now. Let's assume that now I am using the search product number in var clause. Product number, I'm going to search this one, product number. Okay, now if you see, now instead of index seek, it will do the index scan. Index scan is nothing but, in order to search this product number, instead of using that node, it will go for each row and it get the output. It's not good, right? Because we always like to have an index seek. So in order to avoid this index scan, we need to create a non-cluster index. Okay, let us see how to create non-cluster index. So I have a table. Okay, now if you see here, I am going to create a non-cluster index. For that, column name, name product number. Okay, I'm going to create this non-cluster index. Product number. Okay, I'm going to execute this one. Before execute, maybe I will show you one more thing, one more item. We don't have any message. We have to set statistics. IO. Okay, if you see here now, to show the detailed scan count. Now it did logical read is 8 and table product. I'll show you. I'll show you the difference after we have created this non-clustered index. Okay, I have created non-clustered index now. Again I will do the same query, same search again I'm going to do. See, now it's got changed to index-seq instead of index scan. Now it's doing a index-seq. Also the logical read also it got changed. So now if you can see, these things got changed after creating non-cluster index. See the difference between these two. Now the performance is improved, right? Before we have logical reads 8, which means it has went 8 different type of pages to get those results, but now it went only 2 pages. Okay, as I said earlier, right, in last video I discussed what is pages. Pages nothing but each table we have or each page have 8 KB size. If you extend, if you if you have more data in that table, it will create one more page. So it will go like this, depends upon the page rows count. Okay, I believe it's clear now. Okay, now I'm going to use the same query. Now we have multiple column, right? For an example, I have color. Now have we have created cluster index in the name column, non-cluster is product number. Now also we have color. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this color in the search item. COLOR. Okay, now if we do the same execution, we can see the execution. Okay, now if we see here, now we have name, product number, color, but we don't have index in color column. For that, now that we have plan has got changed. No, these two product details, I mean these two column has used the seek, but when it comes to color, again it goes for the table scan. This is not good, so we have to do something in order to improve the performance. Again, if we see here that logical read also got increased to 4. So we are going to change this one. How we can change? Let us see. I will tell you how. So whenever you are creating a non-cluster index, always keep that one in mind. If you have multiple select query, always include that query when you are creating a non-cluster index. I mean, always include that column when you're creating a non-cluster index. So now we have product number, color. So what we need to do, we have to include the color in the column when creating non-cluster index. It's very simple. Now I am going to include color also, color ascending, the same query, I mean same. Before that I need to drop this index, drop index, index name, we have to give the index name on prod. Okay, we have deleted that, not exist. Sorry, the column name, table name is not changed. Okay, I will change the column name. Now we'll try. Okay, now we have deleted the existing cluster non-cluster index. Now I have included one more column in the same query, color. Okay, now we have created this non-cluster index for those two columns. Again I'm going to do the same search. Now if we see here, now again the execution plan got changed. Now we have only indexing. So also that count also, before it was logic read is 4, now it has reduced to 2. So this is how we need to create a cluster index. We have to consider the column when you're doing select query, so those columns that we need to include when we're creating non-cluster index. If you do like this, that performance will improve when you're doing the select query. Also it will avoid the multiple index in the same table. As I said earlier, every index it will occupy some space in that table, so always keep that in our mind when you create a non-cluster index. So first design the select query and then later on create a non-cluster index. Then not only you can give a better performance output from SQL. I believe this would help to someone. I have added some more knowledge to someone. I think I believe it would be great for me. So in case if you have any comments or any suggestion, please give the comments in the comment section. I will try to give the reply for that comments. And if you don't subscribe the channel, please do subscribe. So that's it for the day. Thank you all. Thanks. Bye bye.